I got a mule deer this November. A friend of mine moved from Chilliwack. She's one of my farmer friends. She moved to Chilliwack from Chilliwack to like 100 Mile area, which is about a 7-8 hour drive away. Jeb and I had been mule deer hunting in October. Didn't see anything. No mule deer anyway, besides some sign. And then my friend invited me up to her property that she's leasing. She's got like 26 acres up there that backs onto Crown land. She's like, we got tons of whitetail up here.
Gosh.
But it was a mule deer that Isaac was with me because we homeschool. So he's wherever I go, he goes.
Good.
We had just settled down this for our second night in this stand. She has a couple stands on the property. So she told me where I could set up. We'd gone up early in the morning to the tree stand and saw nothing, and then wandered around all day and figured, well, this is our last night here. The first night we saw nothing. And of course, she would tell me later when I came back to the house, oh, there was some, at this corner of the field or over there. And then, we had set up on the ground in this field, in the stand, and or in a blind, I should say. And I figured we'd be there for like 2 hours until the sun goes fully down. And about 15 minutes into our sit, Isaac says, "Buck." And I look over, and across the field, like really close, like less than 100 yards away, maybe 70, 80 yards, is this mule deer buck. And he's looking right at us. I didn't know if he could see us or not, but obviously he could hear us because his ears were open and he was alert. He's trying to figure out where that sound came from that he heard. So we both were just stock still. And I had my rifle leaning up against the wall. So I carefully, slowly got it. I kept thinking, like, he's going to run. He's going to run. Then this will be the story. Like, we saw one and then he ran away. The end.
Yeah.
But I was able to get the rifle up, and Isaac was just sort of whispering out of the side of his mouth, like, slowly, slowly. And I was like, I can't get him in my crosshairs. I was so nervous. My heart, like, I'm sure that his ears, I'm sure he can hear my heart just pounding.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to get him in my scope, and I told Isaac, plug your ears. So he plugged his ears, and I just slowly squeezed that trigger as I exhaled. And fortunately he kind of lurched forward and took a few steps and he fell. So I was just
oh, that's fantastic.
It was just such a surreal moment when sort of everything comes together. And he didn't run away. He didn't bolt after I shot him. He just pretty much fell. And so we waited for 10 minutes because I was really sure.
Confident that
I was confident that he was gone. And we were so excited. So then we were, we came up on him, and Isaac was just so excited. He was like, whoa, he's bigger than I thought he was. And just to be able to touch him and see him, and like, because Isaac has watched me, go through all of this, all the paces as well, right? Going for my courses and learning about different things. And so it was just a really neat moment to share with him. And then I was like, how am I going to get this out of the woods because it was right parallel to a field where I could bring my 4Runner down into the field. And then I thought I can hitch up his antlers to a rope and I can pull him to the barn. So eventually that's what we did. My friend's husband was away and she had a broken wrist, but the two of us and her 14-year-old sister, who's taller than me, the three of us gals, we hauled the deer out, and then I was able to get the antlers around with a rope and then slowly drag him up to where the barn is. And she's a butcher, so she had a gambrel, handy. She had knives, and she knew what she was doing. So she was only one-handed, but she was able to guide me through the process to take the guts out. And I ended up shooting out the bottom of his heart. So, but we did. That's always the first thing too with any animal that we've taken. If we eat their heart first, I think that's pretty common.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once I had that all cleaned up, they never had heart before, even though she's a butcher, they just don't. They hadn't eaten it, so
didn't think of it.
Yeah. So fried that up with some garlic and butter and salt, and we all loved it. And